Hey guys, it's Warhog back with another squad video. Today we're going to be talking about the M1A2 main battle tank and going over its strengths, weaknesses, how to kill it, how to go against it basically, and how to excel in the tank, and also my personal opinion on the tank. I'll get that out of the way now. It's my second favorite tank in the game. It used to be my favorite, but I'd say the Challenger is my favorite tank, and that is going to be the next guide that I put out, so stay tuned for that. But today we're talking about the Abrams, so let's get on with our last Abrams guide out of the 3 that are in the game. One more shot and I kill him. 2 enemy tanks destroyed. Its strengths and weaknesses. Don't get me wrong, this tank is the best brawler in the game. Its frontal plate weak spot is a bit harder to hit, especially if you're facing it on level ground, head on. Its turret can bounce a lot more than the 2 previous Abrams I've covered. It has great speed, great mobility. Its reverse speed is amazing. And of course, its reload speed is fast. So if you want to brawl in squad in a tank, choose the M1A2. Don't get me wrong though, it is not impervious. It is not invincible. If you don't play it to its strengths, most likely you will get airstriked, as you see in this clip. If you are the problem on the map, commanders will try and get you off of the playing field so that their team can breathe, because this tank is oppressive when it's allowed to run free. As if you've watched previous videos of highlights, if you play the terrain to your advantage and stay mobile, this tank is an absolute beast. You can turn a 1v2 into a 1v1 and then winning the fight. Of course, if the enemy gunners are just focused on tracking you, that's 2 extra shots you have. You have now 2 shots to do what you want, if you could shoot back, as you're seeing in this clip. First tank tracks me, and I'm just picking away at his health. I kill him, second tank comes up, and then he focuses on keeping me double tracked. Fun fact, if you track a tank from the front, it doesn't always do damage to the hull, it just tracks them. It used to not be like that. I feel like a while ago, before these updates started rolling through, armor didn't really function like that. If you hit them from the front and track them, you'd most likely do 15 to 20 hull damage. But now it usually does no damage, and it just tracks you. So just to summarize, without going on too much of a rant, its strengths is mobility. Its turret is pretty good. Not as good as the T-72, but it is good if you play it right. Its frontal weak spot is a lot harder to hit, I'd say, in head-on engagements than, let's say, if you were going against an M1A1. And it's the best brawler in the game, just all around. This tank can brawl. If you're in a 1v2 and you play it smart, you win that. Every other tank in the game has to play a bit, reserved, but I think the M1A2 is probably one of the only tanks in the game that you can be super aggressive with. Smartly aggressive. Don't just take on the whole team by yourself. But you could roll with your infantry and take on tanks and be fine. So, that is my take on its strengths and weaknesses. How to kill it. The Abrams is not too hard to kill. It's definitely a tank you have to play around. You don't really want to face an Abrams head-on. If you do, you can try and aim for that driver's port area. Although I wouldn't recommend it. In other tanks, like the M1A ones, I have gotten overpenned, where I was actually going against one of my friends, Houndy. His stream link is on screen now. I think you should go check him out. He's a great streamer. He streams Squad on CD as well, and he's super cool. Okay, plug aside. Can be overpenned in the M1A ones. On the M1A2, I've not seen an overpen yet. You can go for it, and by all means comment below if you've seen a overpen through an M1A2, where it goes through basically the driver's port, the turret ring, and then hits the engine. So, M1A1 aside, back to how to kill the M1A2. For that lower plate and tracking him, trying to mess up his aim. Because when you track, the driver might freak out if they're not too experienced and they're trying to reposition armor while he is trying to shoot. So that might mess up one of his shots. Then you just aim lower plate. But if he turns his turret to the side for some reason, hit that turret. Do not hit the turret cheeks. Most likely they will bounce on an M1A2. You can get away with it on the M1A ones. On the M1A2, do not hit those turret cheeks. Now, my personal opinion on the M1A2, just to finish this out. It is a great tank. It was my first tank that I started driving. I highly recommend that if you're new to armor that you try this tank first, whether it's gunning or driving or command seat. Do not hop in the fourth seat. Unless you're just memeing around and your crew doesn't really need you. You have a 4-person crew and you've let them know, hey, I'm hopping on the suicide seat pretty much is what it is, because you're going to get killed. Yeah, I don't recommend using the fourth seat on an M1A2. I do recommend hopping in all 3 seats if possible. If you can't hop in all 3 seats, you don't have a 3-person crew, play a bit more passive. Don't get me wrong, the M1A2's FOV is honestly great. It's better than the T72. You have speed, and your turret is good at bouncing projectiles from the front. Although, if you don't have that 3rd seat, there's always going to be that infantry that your gunner doesn't see. So, if you are running a 2-person tank, I would play a bit more passive, only get aggressive when you have friendly infantry. If you're running a 3-person tank, you kind of have the ability to move around the map a bit freer because you have an extra set of eyes looking around that can also kill people trying to sneak up on you and track you. Alright guys, that is my Abrams guide. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Any support is much appreciated. Supporting the videos lately has been great. So I love to see that. It's great to see that you guys are enjoying it. And stay tuned for a Challenger MBT guide and my first map review. Also, I will be redoing my channel update. Some things did change. Don't worry. To the Warhammer 40k guys, nothing changed. It's going to stay the same as that channel update. I'll just be reiterating it. So you don't really have to watch it. But Squad will be changing a bit. And then my second game of choice, besides Dark Tide, will be changing a bit. So, as always, stay safe. And I will see you later. EMP hit once with Sabo.
We bounced it.
Good shit, 6. BMP2's destroyed.
Bro, I'm tired of repping these fucking tracks, man. It's just getting on my nerves.
Yeah, my drivers give you a hand.
Thank you.
Let's get this done quick.
It's literally been just track simulator in this game, man.
I was like, holy shit, that's actually an enemy.
I was like,
one of our guys is having a look next to the hub. Wait a minute.
Ow.
Infantry at the gas station. Infantry at the gas station.
Alright, guys that are repping, watch